Working with teens and 11-year-olds to learn how to love their ancestors. These are some ideas for working with children and youth. We are Ted and Karen Meyer, multi-state Temple and Family History Consultants, Arizona Scottsdale Coordinating Council. So these are some ideas for you. At Roots Tech, we were treated with a fun leadership session carrying on the theme, let's see what success looks like when working with teens. So this is a young women and young men's activity, and we thought you'd get a kick out of this. So you divide the youth into two groups. Then you divide up the word list and give them each some elderly people to call in the word. So each group will call them and write down their favorite story or two from the past. And believe me, they love to tell stories. So now, continuing on with this idea, they come back to the Cultural Center with their stories, and with the leaders, you write 2 roadshow type 1-act plays. Now you use those stories of the ward members to intertwine into the story. Now the fun begins. It takes a couple of months for you to be able to put this on, so plan well in advance. Either act it out or videotape the 2 stories. Then invite the ward, serve popcorn, and enjoy the movies. Next, if the elderly people recognize their story, they get to stand. And you should have all of them receive a Goldie, which is a gold frosting on a gingerbread man. Everybody has a lot of fun, even the old people. They just really enjoy it. So let's say you have primary age children coming into young men's and young women's the year that they turn 12, and they're not quite old enough to go to the temple. How do you keep them motivated and not bored? So one leader said, I just found out that the 11-year-olds don't actually get count on the FHAR. That's the Family History Activity Report. So what do I do with them while the others are researching and reserving names? Well, first of all, you wouldn't offer that they don't count. That shouldn't ever enter any conversation. They can learn right along with the others, and these are great questions. But now thinking creatively will help you through this, because kids love games. In a world where more is supposed to be better, we understand we only get 1 point per person per year. So we get creative. So to answer these questions, we have to realize what the ultimate goal is. To get credit on the FHAR, you need to learn how to research, but first you need to find those green temples. And then you need to print them out, reserve them and print them out, and get them to the temple. That's how you get a point. The brethren just want us to increase family history. They're not interested in numbers as much as they are increasing family history. So if logic follows, focusing on fun family moments, focusing on positive home experiences with family history, and encouraging our children to learn more about their ancestors will result in having them decide on their own that they want to become saviors on Mount Zion. So if those things were done with each person, just one, it will raise the numbers. To count as a submitter, go to the library, reserve and print a name, and that scores a point upwards. And then you hear, but I don't want to start over. I want a tree that's already built. I bet you've heard that before. One of the problems is that the children And yes, teens are a little reticent to venture out into an unknown skill. There aren't any bells or whistles, and nothing is really going to entertain them. And they're looking at their parents' account with a little envy. Mom's tree is so full. It would be so much easier if I could just log in and use their account, and then I would be free to go play video games. Not so fast, little man. Youth and children need to have their own login. If they are using their parents' account, it's not beneficial. Besides, the first person that you list as in heaven will make the tree bloom like crazy. Use the parents' account? Well, they won't get credit for anything. If they're just playing with apps, the kids, it's a waste of energy. That being said, family history apps are never a waste of time when you are done doing family history. Use them as a treat. We have many to show you, so email us for a list of wonderful choices. So now with the kids, again, you need to make it like a game. So how quickly can you get them to reserve and print a name? First, show them the consultant planner, or the new name for it, because everyone can use it, is called Helper Resource. Go to log in, then click the Help button. Pull down the menu to near the bottom. Click on Helper Resource. Get to the tree from this vantage point. Then click on the fan chart. Then click on Ordinances at the bottom of the fan chart. Make it a game. You're about to see a lot of lime green spaces. How many do you think you'll see? Have them reserve and print. Then keep tallies by the whiteboard. First, go here to the fan chart tree. So click Ordinances, find the lime green spaces in the fan chart, and of course it's not a race, but to keep them focused when they reserve a name, then print it, they get a tally mark on your whiteboard. Teams? Oh, sure, you bet. That's a good idea. Announce that one with the most will get a special certificate and then pause. Wait, no, everyone will get a certificate. The one who helped others the most will get an extra scoop of ice cream. We created this little two-page genealogy terms to kind of give them an idea of how to enter things properly into the database. You can hand this out. It's a two-page workbook, and it's in our primarily primary folder. If you'd like access to it, just ask us. Here are some goals that they could try. They can choose their own goals and plan a trip to the temple. Use one of these to use as a checklist of things to know when you're a genealogist for your ward. You can change the questions if in young men's and young women's, adjust the titles to delete the word primary. If you like the idea of giving them a certificate that says, in recognition of the spirit of Elijah you hold in your dedication to the work on behalf of your ancestors, then email us for a link. We'll give you the link to the folder and you can change it around if you like, but it's cute. Here's a flyer for your temple trip. You can also adjust this to meet your needs. So plan a trip to the visitor center for the 11-year-olds. Plan a baptism trip for the older kids. And afterwards, meet together for something special. Send a message to all the leaders, Temple and Family History leaders, and Ward Mission leaders to help remind the kids to get their limited use recommends. Give them a checklist, including signed paper permission slips. The temple and family history leaders need creative ideas. You will be a beacon of light to them. Have everyone fill out the Getting to Know You sheet. Primarily, this is me. And that's when they arrive at the after temple home, where you're going to have an activity. During the evening, every time a bell is rung, the leader will read a fact about someone, and everyone has to guess who it is. The brethren want us to get to know our kindred dead. When we engage in temple and family history activities, we discover more about ourselves and our ancestors. We then connect with our ancestors by performing needed gospel ordinances. The discovery and connection is a part of the gathering of Israel. By learning more about those who went before us, we discover strengths we didn't know we had, which we can draw on in times of need. We discover things about our children and us, which we inherited from our ancestors. We discover pride in their achievements, and that one day you will meet them and they will show you their appreciation for what you've done for them. We can teach others how to know, love, and help their ancestors achieve exaltation. So if everyone in your young men and young women's organization did this exercise, you would all get 1 point. How do you get more points? The way you get more points is by opening your heart and reaching out and asking less actives that you know that are the same age to come to an activity where you can teach them about their ancestors and they can print out a card. So before you go home, log into this site and play this game together about families. You will love it. It's called Wheel of Family Fortune. It's kind of like the TV show, but you get to know more about your family and ask questions and answer questions about them. We are not paid or conscripted to do these. We do it because we love teaching others how to be happy. We hope if you have any problems or questions, you know that when asked, in the spirit of the teachings of Christ, we would never refuse help to anyone. And if we don't know the answer, we'll help you find it. Thank you.